talk to you guys.
So I gotta go get it. So I got
Like we're an hour.
the.
How are you?
I'm good. Hey, how are you? You look like you've been in the sun. No. He takes the water all day. So I get more videos. Oh my God.
I need you to lay hands and feel my back. Oh my God, I need one goddamn. Bill, sciatic, bad. I'm gonna have to go to chiropractor. Give you pain pills.
Come on to my house, I'll work on you.
Someone needs to do something. My back is bad. Never been to the chiropractor.
I bet you gotta sign a waiver. Yeah. And he can have it to you.
Do not run off
How are you? I slept 1 hour.
Hey, Bill. Hey. Oh my gosh, you broke the camera? Not really.
I'll call this meeting to order at 7:01.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Trustee Mormon?
Here.
Trustee Hale? Here. Mayor Long?
Here. The same agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion, consideration, possible action, April 13th, 2026 meeting. Discussion, possible action,
Mainly.
okay. DOT, regarding highway construction. All yours?
Hi guys, Clint Mulvaney from EI for Department of Transportation Sewer Trust Residency. I'm acting as project manager for 33 construction of the ongoing paving operations we've got going on here. Ultimately came here to discuss and what you guys can expect with the Coyle and XXX intersection as far as the construction goes and the phasing of those intersections. With that, we plan to do it half at a time. So we're going to keep traffic open throughout the entire portion of that construction of both intersections. The contractor does plan to start this after the school is out. Yeah, so that was something we worked with them on. I know that was a big thing for you guys.
You know what our last day is?
I do not, that's last. Gonna ask, if we can get that last day up there and start that after.
May 22nd.
Perfect. With that, like I said, we're planning on constructing it half at a time. With that, we're gonna have to cut and mill out asphalt 2 grade, stabilize, ag base, asphalt it back. At which, and we can also work with you on this as far as if we want to open it back up after it's fully paved, or open it up once we get ag base down with ramps, which we can all access it, and then we'll put ramps in the car for driveways throughout the job, or we can wait until it's fully back and operational at paving.
Well, you know, everything's relative.
Right.
So like, what's fully, how many days
Could be month.
now, so you can't, I think you're gonna want to stop what you guys, you don't wanna shut both, you don't wanna have an entrance shut down for a whole month.
It'll be kind of hard.
Well,
I mean, it wouldn't be fully shut down. Like, we're.
But the ramp, that's what I'm saying with the
Oh.
ramps. Like, the worst case scenario would be 1 month and done.
You would think, yeah.
Well-
I mean, varying contractors, availability, and whether obviously.
Consider what's been happening out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's kind of playing there, not talking through like the logistics of it, what it looked like half built and half not. We'll have to put barrier wall down existing pavement over 2 lanes, so because we have to tie in new pavement to it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to tear the shoulder out. With that, we'll have a barrier wall there guarding the drop off on half that we're working on.
Okay.
The half that we're keeping open, you'll have the existing
Oh, you're
pavement.
talking about lanes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So you have an existing lane that we have paved out to the intersection, that will be open. And then next to it, along the radiuses, we'll put a traffic bound surface course aggregate there and build the ditch up to where people can still access it both ways.
But
We'll have
will
cones
it
down the
ever be
middle.
100% flat?
No.
Oh, well.
So we'll have cones up down the middle separating 2 lanes. So you'll have your 2 lanes just as it is now, except it'll be shifted over with that traffic bound surface course next to it the entire time. So even if we wait, even if there's a month of paving back the original lane that we tear out, you'll still have 2 lanes of traffic in and out at both intersections regardless.
Closest school United can help you.
Sure. And then any other dates, like you said, you hand me these, we can work around. So.
Well, so that's a lot after school, all during school, so if you're waiting until after the 22nd,
Those issues.
then nothing to talk about.
Or-
For me, maybe these guys.
And I brought some command sheets here that kind of they call out traffic control and what it's going to look like, and I can leave those with you guys to look at them. But essentially, like I said, trying to make it as simple as possible, keeping 2 lane traffic open at all times. Putting cones down the middle between the lanes with 2-way signs up so no one gets confused coming off the roadway. Especially if there's any truck traffic, looking ahead and putting radiuses on the traffic bound surface course so no one's going to fall off in the edges.
I can speak to today's traffic. Ladies, you guys can, The north exit. Near, on the other side of the creek. Between the
Sugar
Lemon
Wax,
Creek.
the Sugar Wax.
Okay, okay. Used to be all the heavy oil field, but there's not much oil field down there, and now it's down to farmers and hauling cattle and different things. For that one. They don't really know we've done that much.
Completely consideration, but like I said, we're kind of make it as easy as
Well,
possible.
but I'm just saying, expect that kind of
Oh,
traffic
absolutely.
going through there. You know, I think you've been listening to us for a long time.
Like I said, it's trying to make it easy on you guys, and everybody's putting up with it here on traffic and the way it is right now. It's
I know it's still worried about shutting down.
sure, yeah, that was our primary concern.
Well, it is, because, as you see, I had no, there are these places up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you look at the town, the size of the town, and then you realize, well, there's 400 plus, plus. Oh, yes, and Dr. Lilly, you haven't seen our field here. So, but no, I appreciate their thoughts.
If you guys have any other concerns between now and then, you have my contact info there. So you can reach out to
I
me.
think that's a good idea, because I
Or
do have
I
some.
could put it on the sign-in sheet too if that.
Oh, I don't see if I put that in here. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, because I got some questions about some other things. And I know you're not finished with the dirt work, but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I got you in mind, I didn't forget about this. Alright. You guys have
I
any
think
other
Mr.
questions?
Ming over there.
Will you let me know when you guys are in our car, and I can put out an alert so people know that,
Absolutely.
like, when it gets right on day of, kind of. just so
Absolutely,
people
I can
are
let you know
aware.
a week out, 2 weeks out.
Perfect.
and
Give people a heads up that it's gonna be different.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
You have an email?
Yeah, I got a card here. That one's not mine. That one's mine.
October, and they're eyeing earlier, but, I'm saying October.
Detouring all your honor, I was all excited.
Yeah, we got some issues, I heard some talk about it with speed limits there and signage, that's getting adjusted as well, so that's not going unnoticed.
You go on higher than
It's gotta be 45 through the crossover there, due to the design criteria. But the 45 mile an hour on the eastbound lanes is put dang near the red ones, and it doesn't need to be. We're gonna move that down closer to the crossover. And then the 45 mile an hour sign that's in the westbound lanes was improperly put behind the barrier wall, and they're gonna move it farther down so people can see that in advance.
I'm gonna need that crossover needs to probably say it pretty fast. I'm gonna put my stuff in there, not putting up. You know, and I just put it.
Yes.
Road in there.
Have you been through there yet?
No.
But I had, these players on, you can get the player on it.
What we talked about signs after the completion?
Permit signs?
Well, for the fire department to put out there, I know some places have them.
That's gonna be with our traffic division, and I can give you in contact with them, via email or phone number to call. But that'll be all the signs that we put up, stop signs, replacement, or street signs that they call for, and some that be relocated, with the new alignment, but as far as
It's a nightmare to get on the highway. And I imagine it's gonna be twice as hard now, but it's gonna be the big on the 500 out here.
unfortunately, it already is.
Thank you very much.
Okay, just one down the bottom.
Okay, discussion. If you,
No, Jackie, you got him on the phone?
We're gonna call them, I'll do that. And we'll put it on speaker.
I was prepared to have one or the other close at a time.
All right.
Okay. Well, Mr. Roy, we can't hear you just a minute.
Hello?
I heard him there.
There we go.
There we go.
Now we hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hey,
All right. You got the floor.
Okay. All right, I'm glad to be joining you by phone. I normally drive out, but I had some other stuff today that prevented me from coming. So, you got your reports in front of me, I think, and we had most of the audit completed quite a bit earlier. We were waiting on just a little bit of additional information. We'll cover that kind of toward the end. On page 1, we'll just jump right into the important part. Is your audit opinion? I'd like to say first that we didn't encounter much, no issues during the audit. We didn't have any issues getting information. The staff was good to work with, so we didn't have any kind of major setbacks that delayed us in presenting the audit. The second paragraph there on page 1, this is your independent auditor's opinion. First sentence, in my opinion, the modified cash basis financial statements referred to and present fairly in all material respects. I think I've kind of covered that in the past. The material respects part, meaning that your financial statements are materially correct. It doesn't guarantee they're precise. That's the standard that we audit to. There's a paragraph, third section down, called the emphasis of matter. And that's just simply drawing attention to the users of the financials, saying that modified cash basis is a basis other than generally accepted accounting principles. I know we've covered that in the past with you guys. Over on page 24, this is your report over internal control and compliance. Again, we didn't come into any issues. There is one compliance finding. It would be about the 5th paragraph down. It starts off that paragraph with efficiency and control. That last sentence, it says, I consider the deficiency described in the company's schedule to be a material weakness. It's the same finding that you guys have had in the past, the segregation of duties, with only having the one office employee. It's really, there's not any way to have what the GAP or the American Society of CPAs, either one would consider strong controls. And typically, you'd have to have about 4 employees to segregate all those duties. And I think I've covered this in the past. Most municipalities in the state, being in the rural parts of the state, most all of them have this finding. It's not a great concern. The board takes care to look at all the transactions and the ability of management to spend much money without the board, et cetera, et cetera. You have pretty decent controls. This doesn't meet the standard. Does anybody have any questions about the reports?
no, I'm fine.
Nobody got any questions?
Okay, a couple of things in the footnotes. I don't like to cover a lot of that information. On page 18, there's a table there showing your capital assets, the additions, the deletions, etc. Most of that, your fire station expansion, new equipment that was purchased for the fire station. It looks like the street department picked up a tractor and some other equipment and some roof repairs, things of that nature. over on page 21 is kind of the start of the new information that that you'll find in the footnotes. Some of the information we had to wait on. 4E, the whole grant section describing your grants and how much is left on each grant. And then 4E on the next page is a footnote that describes donations or in-kind donations. So having a schedule of donations, where it came from, what the purpose was, that was some information that was requested to be put in. On page 23, the in-kind donations, you pick any one of those that has a description. The Yoki Construction, they donated some labor and parts for the sewer of $1,000. So you simply show that as in-kind revenue and then in-kind expenditures. It's a wash. But these schedules just demonstrate, who donated services to the town.
Okay.
That's kind of new to your footnotes. The rest of it, not much changed other than the financial information. But I'd be glad to take any questions about the notes if anybody has any questions.
Okay. Nobody got anything for us?
Okay, guys, I know it's kind of short and sweet. The town's worked its way through the issues that took so long in the past to talk about. The education authority's all up to speed, and all those audits are current, so you guys know we're here throughout the year. If you have questions, don't hesitate to call. That goes for the board members as well as Lindy there as the clerk. So if anything arises we can help you with, just let us know.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Discussion possible action, computer like that. I thought we were just.
Yeah, I would like, because I thought we had two, I'd like to table this until we,
Last Monday was voted on for the contact them. I'm not sure if.
well, I thought you came in here last week and talked about continuing installing a new computer.
We did, we talked about changing over to do a OneDrive backup, but
Well, have you started doing that? Did you
no, I was getting everything all set up with this, the new one's in here and installed, so we'll need to work on that. So I'll get with him if that's the direction we're gonna go.
Yes.
Okay, then I think that's a done thing, so.
Okay, good. And if you don't, you just let me know.
Discussion of the telephone, regarding fundraising. I guess just don't agree with that. It's that kind of, I personally don't think it's for people in town, or people out there, take over the firefight fundraising. That goes to firefight itself. Worry about the people that have to be still in that account. Be good for the fire. You never go in an agreement, other than in the first place. So, what do you think?
My personal opinion. I haven't been around the fire department like you have, so I can't say one way or the other. The fire department has done the fundraiser. I don't think, in my opinion, the auxiliary is overstepping. I think they're trying to help in a way. But
I think there are some things that need to be worked through, but I don't think that they're trying to overstep their bounds. I think they're just trying to make it better than what it is. That's just my opinion. So, I think there needs to be some compromise, not necessarily compromise, it's not the word I think that if we can work to figure out what one party wants and what the other party wants, and come to a setting where we're both happy, then I think we can make it work. And I really think that it'll benefit everybody in the long run if that's what we think.
That's what I was looking at when I first started looking at all this. And you ask questions, certain things you get to run on, that don't have to be there. And if you don't want to work with us, fine, don't work with us. But, well, look at it right now, fire department fundraiser has been set up at this account. And they do the fundraiser, that money you put on their account. And if we want to do some more fundraisers, then I'll do it, hey, I'm all for it. But this is, that need to do that, and the fire department can have that money to use for the fire trucks. Fire department. The house can set up, thing like that for everything. And why all of a sudden they want to move it to still getting all the money, you know, that's like, just give money to them, forget about it. And so
We're not talking about dues. We're talking about
the fundraiser.
the fundraising piece, which is the profit off of the dams. And not last year, the year before, the fire department took in over and above their cost, not including dues, over $3,000. And this year,
That's what the fire department made off
when
of
they ran the fundraisers themselves,
above 3,000.
yes, they were
You know, turn around.
They only spent, they got donations of, I remember, I loved it. Olive Garden donated the salads. I don't know,
Well, I'm like, you know what they're doing, I just don't want to see them throwing the money into their account, and then when they need it, in their account in the first place. That's there for a reason. It's always been there for a reason. They thought this one, give it to them, not want to, they want to do it nothing. That's up to them, and that's not right.
you know, legally they don't have to tell us anything, and I agree with that. But if they want to work with, I would like to see it work more like Meridian's does. Well, Meridian actually is a true volunteer fire department. Instead of a town board, they actually have a board overseeing the fire department. And their auxiliary reports to that board every month how much money they've raised, and asks the fire department in front of the board, what do they need? And so, in this situation, the town council acts as that board. And we have no input, or receive no input of, we have, for some reason, they don't seem to think it's important for us to even know how much money they're raising. They don't have to tell us, but if they want our support, they need to be accountable to us. It's our fire department, the town's fire department, that we are responsible for.
Let me ask you this. And I know I'm guilty of it. Have you guys been able to make an auxiliary meeting yet?
I have no idea who they are.
Have you asked? And I'll be honest, I asked, and I did get a meeting, and I forgot about it. But my schedule also does not work very well either. As you can tell, I walk in at 7 in the morning. I think that might go a little bit of a long way to figure out where they are and let us go.
I think that's a good idea.
And see what we can do. Not all three of us can go where he do us. So, but I think if we can be transparent in that and be involved, then I think it would go a long way. Like I said, I'm not, I understand, but what I'm trying to see both sides of this, okay? Because I understand where they're coming from, and I understand where we're coming from, and I get it. So, just trying to make this as easy as possible. That way it's a win-win for them and for us. That way we can come to terms, figure it out, get what we need, and see what they are willing to give us, and go from there. Because I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, and we're doing good things in town. There's a lot of things turning around, and I think this auxiliary can really be a blessing in terms of financial woes, that things are out of our control that we can't handle as a township on certain things. Now, I don't know the whole ins and the outs of this. I'm still 1 year in, so I'm still learning as I go. As you guys are too, you guys have been here for longer than I have, but you know more than I do. So,
Well, like I said, my main concern is that I've been told more than once that they do not have to report to the board, they do not have to share information. And that is true. But that is certainly not a way to work with.
well, and I'm not disregarding that. I get that side of it, but if we're transparent and we go to the meetings, and that might be a big step to help alleviate
Okay,
it.
hang on just a second, okay? You have anything?
Well, I just have a question about the conversation you guys are having. You mentioned that the fundraiser was ways for us to raise money for the fire department to pay for things that we need.
Right.
So that money is so very important to us, right?
Right.
So can you guys tell me what $3,000 is paid for the fire department? If all we have is $3,000, what could that pay for? Because you're making it as if this is so detrimental
Well,
to the fire
there's
department.
more than one fundraiser that you guys do.
I mean,
Well, I know there's been a bingo night.
Really?
That was through that,
Oh, here, we have no fundraisers
For the fire department, used to have
of pancake breakfast.
you know, have of course, you know, actually does stuff like. And I had two or three of them.
I have to, can I please? I think the point he's making is, what's the big deal with $3,000? What's it gonna buy? That is his point.
well, I'm just asking the
And so-
question because it's brought up. And I say that to say
So,
this is that.
my point, just a moment, please. So, $3,000 is a big deal to a fire department whose account balance has been on the decline for the last, I'll have to go look, check my books. But it used to be 60,000, it's now down in the 30,000 range. It's historic, 60,000, I know Charles was saving up a lot of money so he could build you guys, build a fire station and fix the lights in the old section, and everything he spent that down was board approved.
Yes, and that's all been done.
I know. But now the department's balance is down in the 30,000 range. So there is no give in there except what,
If they don't put money in there, there's not any money for it.
and we don't know
There's
exactly.
money does go in there. And I can name off all the things that go in from the federal side, the
No,
forestry grants and
we're
all that stuff.
talking about these
So-
fundraisers.
But he said nothing goes in there, nothing will go in there.
Okay, you guys are not communicating, and I'm not gonna be your
Well, I'm just,
How much, if you don't, do you mind if I ask a question?
certainly, please.
Yeah, 'cause I'm-
How many, different accounts, well, not accounts, but how many different deposits go in there from different things that you know of?
That I know of.
Just offhand, just
For
offhand.
the town, I'd say that we get a operating grant from forestry every year in excess of $10,000.
Okay.
We get funding from LifeNet every year. That's ranged between 1,000 to 3,000, depending on the number of calls that they run yearly.
Yeah.
And then we get one other one, fire dues. Yeah, we get the fire dues that go into that account. So the revenue, it generates revenue. So that's some of them. And that's not talking about the county funds.
Right. I'm just,
It's
I
a
was
city
just,
fund.
I was just curious, because I didn't
Yeah,
know.
no.
I knew the fire dues did,
Yeah.
but I didn't know, I figured there were some kind of grants and things like that,
Okay, I'm
And then-
mistaken, sorry.
so.
I'm making mistakes, I'm
That's all
sorry.
right.
No, you're fine.
You were talking about donation, fundraising funds.
I'm going to listen to you get more of this, 'cause I do think it's a good idea, but I'm just not, there's just something not hitting me.
Well, but it's not being operated like the museum. We're getting no information of what benefit they are giving to the fire
And
department.
I'm just going to think why they want to give all that money to this organization. And they can put it in there themselves, it's still the same thing,
I can answer the question to that.
okay?
Because when I'm making phone calls to the auxiliary and say, hey, we need this, we're on a fire, can you bring this piece out? That quick piece is on the
You
way
can
out.
still do that on that side deal too.
Huh?
You want to do that for others too? Yes, sir, you can.
According to
Yes, you were told wrong,
who was told wrong?
you what?
By the auditor?
Yep.
Because there were two people in the
Same
room that
one.
sat through that audit, and that was me and Joanne.
Yeah.
And I know what I was told directly from the auditor.
And, may I interject, please? And when this auxiliary was started, I reached out to that very same auditor that is now the legal advisor to the state auditor. And he gave us a legal opinion that said, your pizza can be paid for by your department so long as you write down you are fighting a fire. And where?
Okay.
Now, I'll give you another copy of it, because no one seems to have remembered that a year ago, year and a half. It was an opinion from the state auditor that you keep talking about that says we can't buy you eye drops. We can't. It's to pursue your charter. The fire department is, I have to go look it up, but I do know you guys are committed to fighting fires, saving lives, and providing emergency services. Anything under those three things. You've got the contract with the town?
No, I had to state law that tells us what we do and how we do it.
You have one of those? You have one copy? How many copies you got?
I got two.
Can I have one? Now, the reason I'm asking, Michael, is because, thanks, sir. This all same thing right here? No, this is, okay.
One is the minimum rules and requirements by state law for the fire department and how to operate. The other one's up on the firefighter's act. Volunteer act defines what that is.
Okay. So,
But anything that you're doing, per that memo that I gave all of you guys, I'll give you another copy, in pursuit of those tasks is payable by the fire department. So if anybody, I'm not going to talk about pizza anymore.
Okay, well,
let me ask this before we move on.
okay.
To address what we're talking about, I vaguely remember the meeting. Did you call the gentleman? Who was it that, what was his name? What was his name?
Mick Dodson, the guy that left the attorney for the
Yes,
auditor.
the attorney. Did you talk to that gentleman?
I don't know. Not recently, I haven't.
Well, he
Okay.
talked to
Well,
him and he was
well, no, I know. What I'm getting at is maybe we revisit that, get you his phone number, give him a call, try to alleviate this issue, try to take care of that.
Oh, that's fine.
And I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm still learning here, so, but I'm just, to be quite honest, guys, I'm tired of speed bumps, and I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but we are proactively moving forward, and I want to make this smooth. And I know sometimes difference of opinions happen, but if we can work together and figure out the compromise and talk to the same people and try to figure out what we're talking about and alleviate one thing at a time, I think we can gain some ground here. So,
If I could just say one thing about this whole fundraiser, people take this as if it was something that we were required to do. And it was never set up that way. Carl, you've been on this department longer than I have. We did it for what reason?
So we have money.
Because we were not funded by anybody. We had to have fundraisers to put gas in the trucks.
right,
We had to have fundraisers to put, repair trucks.
right.
We went out on calls and scraped up pennies and nickels and dimes out of our own pocket to put gas at the pumps and mechanisms.
I understand.
That's what that fundraiser is for.
I understand.
But this is a different day and age, and they're funded a lot better now. And I understand where they're coming from when they say that about the fundraiser and the opposition with the auxiliary. But I want you to understand that has a lot less to do with the fire department than it does with the board and the auxiliary. We're here to provide a service, and we're going to do that.
We are your guardians. Believe it or not, we are your guardians.
Yeah, but you can't make the laws.
Whoa, wait a minute. You repeat what you remember from?
Which part? All of it? Okay, so what I'm saying is that when he asked about us, the fire department and the funding, that source has changed over the last 15 years. It's no longer a dire need for us to have a fundraiser for repairs. Those things are stuff that we don't need. Now, according to Joanne, we can spend money out of those accounts to buy food. And based on his advice, I would talk to the person she said. If that's the case, then the issue that we're talking about, using money funds for, that becomes a new point. Then it now becomes an issue with the board and the auxiliary. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
Okay?
Yeah, anything else?
I think that's, I'm fine.
Okay. Go ahead.
Just want to get a little more understanding of the auxiliary help. I'm not talking about buying pizza. We talked about it. Okay, we're on the same page.
Thank you.
We have 23 people, and I think 6 of us have been around longer than a year. Okay, a lot of you guys. The dedication is different. They don't have the small town dedication yet. Hopefully they do. They're new. They're younger kids. Who's doing these fundraisers? It's a lot for us. Full-time jobs, this and that. That was part of the reason asking them. They are good at putting fundraisers together. They put the manpower in. When we have the big fires, we didn't clean the station once. I actually think they helped wash trucks. We didn't even go and get food.
Again, as I will tell you, the way they operate down in Meridian, they are very supportive of one another. And that's all we're asking for.
And that is, if there is something that can be found on the money side, then maybe there's something different there. But that's because Meridian can operate different financially because they're not a municipality.
Because they have a board of directors, but they don't operate any differently.
I say law.
They're
They're Title 18.
Right.
Or we're Title 11.
Okay, point being, they work with their auxiliary, they get reports from their auxiliary, and their board and the auxiliary work closely together.
It's
Okay.
And that's what you said.
It's also owned by
Just a second,
fire.
I think you're right. We need to get more and talk to these people more. But,
I think it's just, I think
I think I'm misunderstanding something. I don't know what it is, but something I'm misunderstanding from somebody. And I'm trying to my head to come out. I'll do something. But, I will plan to work with them and see what we can do.
I think there's a compromise. I think we can both win.
Whether you want to do the wrong side, do anything it is, that's that. Well, we'll find out.
last year, we had a table to collect donations and dues.
Would you like to be there?
I cannot, I will be out of town.
What day is the,
Saturday the 2nd, 5 to 7.
And apparently this last year, most dues were brought directly to the office, as were most donations.
I set up the table collecting dues for the town, and it all was the town as the certificate for the town. So if you want to set up a table, I can sit there and collect the dues for the town.
And donations.
Any donations that are specific to the town.
But that's where people get, never mind, we can talk about that later, they get confused, so they donate them to the auxiliary. And I must tell you, the last meeting we had, I said, what kind of in-kind donations? I know there was no cash because it wasn't on the books. But there hasn't been an in-kind donations. Because they're not being reported by our chief. And our,
Hang on, wait a minute.
so, and that requirement is county principals, the auditor, that's why it's there. I was not aware of it. Well, we didn't have any kind of, we didn't have all of them. Well, we had the Gatorade stuff. I do. The statement that there's been no cash given is not correct. Last year we gave a check for over $2,000. I don't have the exact amount. I do. In my 10, but you just made the statement there, didn't you? So we gave over $2,000 to 10 or 11 fire departments from the Stillwater Strong fundraiser that we were a part of. And part of the group that we joined with, their requirement was that all the fire departments that were participated in that March fire, that those funds were divided to each of them evenly. So that's what we did. That's where the over $2,000 check generated came from. So as far as cash, yes, that's all that's come back through the fire department thing. We've helped them with their Christmas dinner, which the town couldn't do. That helped alleviate people from having to pay. Okay, let me say this. It's our understanding that a private event, not a public event, the town fire department cannot fund. So the Christmas parties were being funded by the individuals themselves, and it's kind of ordeal potluck. So last year we did help pay for part of the catering, not all of it, part of it. We have bought supplies, we have bought other things. As far as
why is this not listed?
Because.
when you have that,
Well, I'm asking, why is this not
Because
listed?
we were told that any kind of donations had to reach a certain amount for it to be reportable, so we haven't been reporting it, because not all of it has
it's over
exceeded that.
$100.
I thought it was $500.
Now, $500 is what we reported in the audit, but everything over $100,
I thought we said it was higher than that.
no, we
Okay,
didn't.
that's still in there. If everybody don't, we don't know what's going on, everybody's doing.
So here's the deal though, it's, and this was a question that came up, I had an email from your auditor asking for an in-kind list of things we had donated. I listened to last month's, and there was something that was presented that was not completely factual, in the fact that I did not refuse to give it. I presented a question to the CPA saying, I've done nonprofit for 20-some plus years, probably more, but I don't want to say that because that makes me older. But I,
just a number.
yeah, right. Keep coming. I dealt with nonprofits, and it's not the nonprofit's responsibility to report what we get in any kind. It's the receiver's responsibility. So, in this case, the fire department. So I asked the auditor, according to my understanding, this is the way it is. Has that changed, and if so, we'll be happy. I never got a response from the CPA. So I didn't get one, so no, we did not. But it wasn't because we refused. It was because there was nothing that came back that said, yes, it is your responsibility. So
It's not
I
their
guess I'm
responsibility.
confused. We're being thrown under the bus for being not cooperating, yet we have cooperated. I have not been asked by one soul for a financial statement. Nobody has come to me and said, as the treasurer, can we have financial statements? I'd be willing to give them, but I have no responsibility to go post them everywhere.
I wish you'd been at our last month.
I was out of town.
I know, but your representative refused.
I did not.
You said we could give it to us individually.
Yes,
but not
yes,
as
the town cannot request that.
Right.
It's not legal. You cannot.
That's
You
we're not
cannot
going
ask
there.
the doctors.
That's enough. We're not going
We're
there.
not going- I've heard a lot of things that
That's what I was saying. I don't.
Don't worry.
I'm
Give it all to Lori.
You're still welcome to call me if you want to have more information.
But we're,
The information is to
It's
be
just-
provided.
It's not our state to do
Sure.
that.
And
He
this
will.
is
We're here to
the
do a
well,
service.
I got this.
Okay.
Can you write a check to anybody, is there a stipulation on that? Anybody else outside of stuff like that?
Can I,
Can you guys write a check out to somebody else besides stuff like that?
Yeah.
So we're
For,
not-
okay, so for example, we wrote it to the catering company when we helped with Christmas dinner. What, we wrote checks to the other fire departments because that was the
How
agreement.
about, if somebody, if there's somebody in town that hurt, it's on fire or something? and-
we have not written any checks for
Well, I'm
anybody.
just saying-
In that scenario.
I'm gonna say, we can do that.
If a family, I don't know, I have to go back and look. It's not been presented, so I can't say that. Are you saying like if, one of the fire department guys got hurt and their family was needing food, could we buy them food? Is that an example?
That's, someone that's not in the fire,
No.
that's not.
The auxiliary is set up to only serve the
That's-
fire
that's-
department and its standing members.
That's it.
There you go. That's the definition. That's the definition you're looking
Is that what you put on your incorporation document?
Is that what that says? I'm not gonna quote it, because I don't have it memorized. I'm not gonna quote it, because I don't have it
That's
memorized.
not, I've been looking at a lot this last couple of weeks, is what you guys handed us, looking at, maybe it's the wrong one or something. And the way I understand it, you're able to write a check.
No.
That's what I didn't understand.
Well, for the right purposes as stated in their incorporation.
Okay?
We can get you our bylaws, and then you can, and see if you interpret it that way or not.
Okay, thank you. This last one here, we're gonna go on.
Question on in-kind donations. Okay, when we presented it, after you guys found out that we were supposed to be listening to the leave us, we did the best we could. Whether it was good enough or not. Okay. What all classifies? Because our understanding is material over that $100 threshold by a entity, not an individual. So for instance, your donation, you donated stuff. Even if it was $101 worth, it doesn't count, correct?
No,
Because it's an individual.
it makes no distinction. No
And
distinction.
that's part of our problem here. because I
I
don't-
can do better. I'll have Jack help me.
Because that's our deal is, that doesn't, like your donation, I think it would technically be material, but if somebody brought in $100 worth of food, would that count for a meal right then? Because
I will get a more, just let me get a more clear definition,
That would be great.
because it can range from anything
We're
from.
done, we're done.
We're gonna just one on.
We're done. We're done.
Get that cross, same thing.
Break off and
Have one on that.
that's done, we're done. I'm sorry.
That's
Wait a minute.
that's fine.
We're done with that point.
Yeah, we're done with it. I've got some stuff I got to find out. So I'm gonna make the table this.
A second.
Carl, can I give you the date of our meetings?
Yes, please.
We meet the first Monday of every month
Right.
at 6:30 at the firehouse. And you're all welcome.
What's up in camera?
Individual.
Individually, yes. Not as a group, because y'all can't do that.
Well, that's not.
Well, okay.
It's kind of like family business.
Thank you all for your input. We're going to move on to the root branch update.
David, you have anything on the guidance?
We're, y'all approving this bid. We got 10 minutes to get it and get stuff ordered. They just want to make sure, verify that the town accepted their bid for the hydrant.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
I'm kind of always good on that.
And what we did with it.
Yeah, he did, he just needed this one clarification.
Documentation.
Yeah.
So you guys approved the minutes earlier, and so tomorrow I will send them a copy of them, and then get moving on that.
Anything else? Fire department report.
All of our trucks are up and running except for my command truck that had to get towed to Perry Saturday. Got a fuel leak. They're gonna send a brush truck to Colgate, Oklahoma to get the bed warrantied out. The doors won't stay shut on the bed, so they're putting a brand new fire bed on it. Hopefully Wednesday at the Board of County Commissioners, we have submitted bids for a new brush truck to retire a truck that has outlived its life. We've been with several vendors, should be opening up and choosing one. We're gonna do lease purchase, which lease purchase, for most people who don't know, is like financing for a truck. It's gonna be anywhere between $150,000 to $200,000. We just pay a monthly payment on it, but the whole bill, truck, bed, everything, tools. It'll be fully in service as soon as it gets delivered, whenever we decide to do it.
Save all your paperwork, if you would, please, because you'll have to recognize the debt, and you'll have to, do some reporting. What year, but that was one of the, we've had one before,
Yeah, this will be our second one.
yeah. And I had to kind of scramble to figure out what was going on.
I'll
If
keep
you don't mind, I
everything on
appreciate it.
Been doing a bunch of training. We're pretty much fully staffed. All these newer younger kids are all gung ho for training. So every opportunity we get, they're going. That's pretty much it. You think of anything else? Yeah, that truck's coming up. 89ers is this next weekend. Yeah, this weekend. It's greening up slowly but surely. So, that's all I got.
Is your fire tech still up running?
Yeah.
I'm on it.
because you got retired from the fire department, so you accidentally got deleted. I've been so busy, I'll get somebody to get it.
I don't know where they're going not go. I don't know where they're going not go.
I'll have to be here, somebody do it, I've been super busy. But that's why you were not active, because you were retired and you were taken out.
But I had a nice good one. In the park, I know, right. Thank you. Event report?
I don't know. Grant left, so I'm not sure. Just the event is, July 3rd at, starting at 6 o'clock, until fireworks. So. Anybody?
You talking about 4th of July?
Yeah, 4th of July, sorry. July 3rd, starting at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Now, all funds that's put on bond, the fire department, correct?
The 4th of July.
For the fire department? No, for the town. I'm sorry, for the town.
Yes,
Okay, so all receipts and everything will flow to the town's books.
yes. So he's already started, working on getting donations for fireworks and all of this. Yeah.
Still like it always has been.
Financial report?
I'm in there. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the balances for the three maintenance accounts as of March 31st in general fund, $71,611.36. CBWA, I think that's not right. 37,000, that's not right. That's a typo. I'll look that one up and report that in just a second. The fire department is $738.98, and then you have a, cash activity, actually it should be on that. That should be a $67,882.38. Sorry about that. And then I don't need no cash, activity balance report even in there, so I will send that out as well. Sorry. I'm trying to get my computer all switched back over, and it's kind of a pain. But I am starting to work on budget, so I'm hoping for a budget workshop soon.
It's Windows 11, that has been used.
I was just trying, I was on two computers, and that was a pain, and so I was trying to get stuff all back together. We'll get it.
Big difference. I just got it through my phone.
Okay, so this is our, every month you guys approve a blanket PO, and part of it's for maintenance, part of it's for like general office stuff, and we have CPA. And the maintenance one, we're finding, because everything's so expensive now, that $250 for the maintenance doesn't seem to be quite enough, because even have to get blades and stuff like that.
That lawnmower.
Blades, belt, we do what else, spray.
Tires.
Tires.
Tires, the other day, we put a hole in the tire. And a piece of rebar go to the side of it.
Is that a rear tire or a front tire?
You say,
Outer.
you know how much they cost?
Over $150.
I think more than that.
Are you talking about the lawnmower?
Oh, you're talking about, oh. I thought you were talking about the tractor, I was like, holy cow. Big bought a tractor tire for $150, you let me know where it's at.
I can remember it, like, it's still online. No.
You need to name them. You figure out names for them, that way we can decide for it.
Margaret.
That's why we're over $1,000.
I asked Mindy about this because everything has gone up, so.
I know. So what are you looking at?
Well, I mean, the spray, because I've got everything sprayed now, that was almost $100 for 2 gallons, or 2.5 gallons. So, it's $89.99, 2.5 gallons.
You got a mask on, that's what you're doing that. You wear a mask, right? I'm gonna drink it next time.
Do you wanna,
But I do wear rubber gloves when I do it.
Yeah, you wear a mask.
that's what I was gonna say, 500 for the first time, and then see what, go from there. and
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea, and then
It goes for
actually,
Yeah, just winter time, drop it back down.
Okay, well, I make a motion that as effective today, which is, so beginning in April through August, September? Okay, August through September, we raise the blanket PO for the, maintenance, the blanket of $500 to $500.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
I have a question real quick while we're on financial. That's okay.
Okay.
I had to have a truck towed Saturday to Perry, and it may be over the $500. It's kind of an emergency thing. I know we gotta get approval. But our insurance will reimburse it, but I just wanna let you guys know on that. I don't wanna be out of compliance or anything.
Yeah, he was saying that the last one broke down.
So under the fire department report, Tom, if you will mention those things,
I just thought about it.
I understand, then we'll approve the tow.
Okay.
So
My apologies.
I don't know,
How dare you mess up?
I'm glad I didn't burn it.
You and me both.
you said we're gonna fix it in a minute.
Are you, anything else? Okay, I make a motion to go back to fire department report.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I had to have a truck towed Saturday.
I make a motion that we cover the tow on the, chiefs when the vehicle towed. There it is.
It got a hole in the fuel line, it was leaking fuel everywhere.
Guess they went on fire.
Yeah, I know. So,
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 you could call Thunder to put it down. That's what you
What we gonna do? Maintenance report.
Yeah, I've been steadily mowing and spraying, and Tony looked, I put a dent in the town since we had that little rain over the weekend, so they was going back out.
What's your problem?
Huh?
Good work, night, sir.
Cemetery looked good.
I see it 9 hours,
I'm just kidding you.
yeah,
You did good on the cemetery, it looked good for that service.
Thank you.
the new hydraulic blade is here, we ordered for the roads, and the quick hitch arrived too, but I gotta take it back tomorrow. They sent the wrong one.
No.
Good reason.
And the new trailer is here too, so
Oh, I think there's that one.
I'll be using it a lot. You're welcome. All the lawnmowers out the
Got down here to discuss cost price versus price of street. We've already voted on that.
Well, 8 braces, a gate, and concrete. I had the price of it, but I misplaced it.
We already voted on doing that here a while back. I think, when
Like
you
a
were
year or
on
so
board,
I
ago.
think we voted on the age braces, but not the gate and the concrete, because I think the original plan was to move the gate up and
The
it's
gates
buried.
So,
It was a short, I mean, I think it was gonna be close to
I thought we did all of
but,
them.
wait a minute. How about going and get a price on a real gate and
Right.
steel?
Go to OK Steel, price there.
Okay, steel or wherever you, there you
I
go.
was just gonna see if y'all maybe set me a limit, because in case I gotta get extra wire imposed.
I guarantee you, there should be enough wire down there to reach. You know,
It's
around.
cemetery.
It's for the
Yeah,
steel.
I know it's a cemetery. You got $30, you know, people.
I just, when I start building.
Well, hang on a second. When we're gonna fix the cemetery? Yeah, really.
Hey,
I'm gonna make a motion that we use the cemetery, because that stuff is just gonna get rusty and old, it needs to be used. And keep track of what you're using out of it.
Well,
Finish your motion. Hold on, Carl. Hold on, Carl.
I make a motion that we use the barbed wire and steel posts that we've got to refence the cemetery on the tree lot. Since it's been sitting for so long, it needs to be used, and then BJ will keep track of it. And then when it comes time, we'll replace the cemetery's inventory.
Second it.
Fine.
I.
And that's all you need, are H posts now?
8 braces, a gate, and concrete.
Yeah, I would go and go to OK Steel. Price it there.
Yeah, and he said, he worked at, Stillwater Mill, and they have the prefab ones.
Well, the only reason I say OK Steel is because it's locally owned by Coyle graduates. So if we can, nothing against the mill, but if we can support our local people, because OK Steel was actually some of the people that donated the sheet metal for the ball field down there to redo it. So if we can give them some money back to be able to do that, then that's probably a good idea.
As long as it's reasonable.
On everything, absolutely. And if you want to, you can even call Road Yard and price it that way and then see what the difference is. So, just go from there. Do we need to set a limit on that? Or does he need to get prices first and
Get the
then?
price of them out.
And Lenny, I know your time's full, but if you can go back and look and see within the last year and a half, to see if that was ever voted on, to see if we approved anything.
I remember us talking about it, but yeah, I'll go back and find it.
Didn't we?
We did vote on that, approved it, and it's also in a separate fiscal year, so I think you'd have to approve it again anyway.
Just get prices in. Just get prices and we'll go from there.
But anyway, get a real steel gate and the things that you need.
Well, I'll have to see the price of that, what that takes for next time. next meeting.
That's all OK Steel. Okay.
You also got to remove the third confirmation function. Compressor and supplies for the window shop.
Yeah, air compressor, air hose, all that, because the Spartan's sitting in a flat on the way air fire. Because the compressor that was in there 2 years ago, it was working. It was just getting old.
You didn't get that?
You keep fixing it.
Local hard? Local hard?
What's that compressor you want?
25 gallon, small one.
That's it in the, blanket PO for the maintenance.
I think, you still have that right now, maybe, on the compressor?
I want to say it was like 350. Harbor Freight, I think, is where you look, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was for, the compressor, a hose wheel, and like the, or something.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I make a motion that we approve the, purchase of the compressor and supplies for the maintenance shop. Yeah, probably a $500 cap on it to be able to purchase the items needed for tables.
A second.
All in favor?
Can I have one comment? Aye.
It was $359.99.
Well, what other feature is?
That's with everything? No, that's just compressors.
Well, then you got some room in your other.
Yeah, really good.
But on your Kubota, the air coolant, I mean, the radiator area and all that good stuff, make sure you don't have to blow that. You'll need a compressor to blow it out.
Yeah. I use the fire pump right now to blow that out, so.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, cemetery.
We had lunch service out there this morning.
Okay,
Can I comment on that? We need to figure something out to put in the middle, whenever you pull in, or block it that way, because they go right in the middle.
It's the drive, you cannot tell where the
I
drive
know,
is.
I know,
Okay, yeah.
so,
I was out there afterwards, because I didn't look up there. But is it time that we put some gravel or something down?
well, if I was BJ, I would be a total tip, because you start mowing, you're gonna sling them rocks, and you're gonna hit it first. Or it's gonna make it a pain.
Do we need to put down like ground up asphalt?
I don't know, that's something that we can talk about, but I just know that they literally, the signs there at the gate, us local people know, they were from Kansas,
They don't.
and they didn't look at they didn't look at it, and they literally drove straight through the middle.
Exactly.
So, I mean, and they didn't do it on purpose, it wasn't like they just, that's the easiest route they've seen, and that's where they went. So, I don't know if we have any, if might get some railroad tie or something, or 3 or 4 put right there to,
Just get them headed in the right direction.
yep, so, but that's something that, well, I don't know, but something needs to be there, because they just drove right down through the middle.
I understand, because like I said, when I was there, and there have been tracks, and I've been there forever, and I have a hard time because of those weeds get up, off on the road.
And I try to cut it, put pipe and cable, put pipe out, if you say come in, you put pipe there, the cable will be a lot easier.
You can do that too.
Instead of weeding around it and all that, or you can put up a sign.
There's a sign there.
They don't pay much money.
With arrows pointing.
Good point.
That was good.
That might be Dylan's idea is probably suffice.
Trees and stuff we need to get out.
But trust me, that's the second time I've been out there, wow, and yeah, it requires some work.
I know, I get some guys going and pop the tree.
All of it. My personal opinion, the whole fence line just needs to go. And just they go out, be done, get all out of the way, that way we don't have to have anything else. So, we talked about this before, and we still haven't done it yet, so.
The problem is that these trees are right in the fence line and right against some of the headstones.
No, I understand that, but that's also something we can work with, then come along and figure out if we can leave some out, we can tie this stuff to it, drop it the other way, away from the gravestones, and then get it all out.
I don't like that. I know the guys that come in and drop those trees.
And he won't even let us stack them on him. He won't even let us stack the trees on him and burn them.
It may be one of those things that we just do a community effort to I understand, I know.
If you can, people let us
Yeah,
stack
yeah, I
them
agree.
and just burn them last.
But it's just one of those things that, we're only limited so much, so.
And I'm gonna help in any way I can.
What,
If everybody wants to set a time.
what is in the cemetery account, Lindy?
paving replacement.
There's kind of one that instead of kind of the maintenance, that's the one and still, and Guthrie behind. And the other one is for major, it's repairs and stuff like that. So about 6,001, about two.
I think it's about 10 in both.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, 10 in the CD, 8,000 in the paving.
I think that a city tractor like that, you know, just sit there and hell, we can drop the trees and all that, you know, pretty quick. It's gonna take a whole weekend to do it, but
We'll just have to
Yeah,
coordinate
we've got a grapple.
and figure it out.
when we'll be.
Got a grapple on ours too.
Don't you take them all weekend away?
We did last time, wasn't it?
I don't ever have a weekend, Carl.
I
don't ever have a weekend.
We digress. Let's hold a special meeting about the fire cemetery if we want to.
We're done with the report.
Yeah, so we'll have to. Okay. Clerk, code enforcement report.
Okay, so last Tuesday, we had, public court here. There were a few cases that are continued from that, and the next court date is scheduled for May the 5th. I did send out a reminder on the water billing as per our procedure, that grass is to be maintained less than 12 inches. And then when I get the notices from Brian, I will get them out.
Okay,
Hold on just a second before, Randy, how many do we have pending on this? Any idea?
Two. I will check and I'll verify that for you, but.
Is that the first hearing before the judge?
So, yes, because they haven't been in court yet. Yeah.
And then you get a chance to email that stuff,
Okay.
if you would please. Good. Now we're good. All right.
okay, it brought to my attention that, we had to, Randy took the court, and I was not aware of it, was you?
Not to my knowledge, but it may have been something that slipped through the crack that I missed it, so.
No.
Well, I want to apologize to these people because it was not brought to the board. It should be brought to the board before it went to the board. It's in the minutes.
It is reported at every meeting. I reported it in February that there was one going to trial in March. And in March, I reported that court was canceled and it was moving to April.
We did get that.
But we do not identify who we're talking about, or if it's the second.
We don't, but you guys can come in and we can talk about it.
And you need to drop us, one of us, actually Colton is the one that we will discuss reviewing these things before these, I don't know who signed it, but it should have been one of us.
We've set up,
Okay. I am so frustrated because we've discussed this so many times that the board has the final say on what happens. And I think we need to have an investigation, find out who signed the papers. Because this is not the way I, as a board member, want this to be handled. So we need to get the paperwork and we need to get it investigated. We'll find out if Colton, if you signed it or not.
it was the person who has been set by you guys and voted on to follow up on it. I mean, the procedure was followed as you guys have set.
It wasn't brought to the board.
I reported it the
You should
last 2 months.
specifically bring it to the board, as in sending us an email communication to come and review this case.
Reporting it in the meeting doesn't say, hey, if you have a question, come and ask.
We need some proaction directly to us individually. Because this cannot happen again.
It slipped through the cracks. And it's on everybody. It's not just on you, it's not just on us, it's on everybody. So, it's just one of those things that we wanna try to avoid next time if at all possible. That way we're not heading in a direction that we step on toes to.
Well, we have always wanted to work. There are worse properties that we are working with today.
I understand, and what I'm getting at is that we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all miss things. It happens, okay? So we're not trying to point a finger or anything like that. We're just trying to make ourselves better. Is all we're trying to do.
Well, I am terribly embarrassed because I have told these people not to worry, that they would be given the time, and then this happened to them. I am embarrassed. And I apologize.
And that's all right to be embarrassed. But what I'm getting at is we're growing, we're being proactive, we're gonna have speed bumps. That's what I'm trying to get at on all of this. Things are gonna happen. We're gonna slip through the cracks. We're gonna make mistakes. It's the only way we learn. So whenever things like that happen, the only way that we get better is we identify what we did wrong, we put a procedure in place, a plan of action, and then we execute for the next one. So that's where we're at. We'll do that, and we'll try to be better next time. That's all we can do. So.
Discussion for all approval.
Bid for abatement. So I sent this to Bryce, he sent it back to me, there's a couple of amendments that he made. He did say it was more document than what we needed, and was gonna send another one, but I followed up with him last week and I haven't heard back yet, so.
Well, then I guess we have to table this until we get it.
Make a motion that we table it for next meeting.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion on, that's before. Got recertified on them. Okay, first again. And I've got in the computer in my house, I can pull it up, either. That's, I can on it quite a bit, trying to figure out what's going on in the storm. It's been like all moving around, it's
And
good.
usually, not always.
Then we walk through the cemetery at night, unlock it in the morning. Trying to keep everybody turning it up out there. He also checks on some other stuff around town and outside of town. And I think that as of this morning, there's 3/4 of it all in there in town. So we are still dry. And checked out the salary, it's working fine. We got the keys to the gym up there for emergencies. And the thing is, we gotta get hold of the superintendent's court, so we will lock it. That is not good. And I think you have too, yeah, you've got some windows, you guys have a vehicle or two. that's the message you get.
No.
Okay, well, it's just, we have to keep track of who goes in there. For school records. And how long it's taking. As far as that goes, I think that, it. I have to have you on the head the computer, or the other talk to them in the vehicle. That might be on the vehicle. But, I'm going to go to what that, you know. It's up to you guys.
Well, it's like, how much do they cost, do they?
That'd be a great question.
Well, the fire department also has purchased, do you know how much?
You guys use laptops and use,
iPads.
iPads? Which is better?
iPads are more mobile. I like the iPad better.
Well, we did probably, that works a lot better. Well, you may want to look at the tablet with Windows, instead of the iPad, because the, Reno First stuff is only on Apple products, I believe. Probably using Windows thing. Everything else is.
Is that on the agenda?
Well, we can, you got his number, just ask him.
Yeah, I'll get hold of Jason and see if he can get that with this price for me.
I would, get a refurbished one.
So that's what you got on the computer, refurbished computer.
But I think the laps are so much.
I don't know what the,
Okay, give him a call.
Is there another phone available?
no, what, used to have that, all the numbers in there, and it's so that way you can't use it.
But there's not one that came in to do the full number what?
Not, I don't want stationary.
Well, those things are made where you can move them around inside, but you
Yeah.
don't need any
Yeah,
matter.
that's what I had in there, and I don't want stationary, it's so easy to know that.
Well, those things are made to where you can move them, aren't they?
Yeah, you know it, it's just in the way.
You have them, see.
There's two of them in that vehicle,
Oh, I didn't know there were two of them.
there's you two in that vehicle.
Put them in the back seat.
Okay,
Sometimes there's more than that.
we need to find out how much they are.
Do your due diligence.
So let's table his computer for the emergency management, so we get some pricing on it.
Well, we need to do is.
On the agenda, so.
Yeah, so just do your due diligence and then report, so we need to put it on there.
Hey, Carl.
Yes, sir.
Just be aware that does the emergency management have district in town of Langston?
Coyle emergency management?
We can assist.
Okay, well, there's been they've been calling me, a lot of citizens, I don't know if there's been emergencies in town, because they've been seeing, Tahoe. Not that I know of, but, and he's been out at the lake.
Yeah, he always does check, so, where they were.
I mean, they're just asking a question. I mean, several of them, I'll bring it to the mayor's attention.
He always does that, checking stuff, He,
He checks the lake, he checks the rivers,
yeah,
he checks the creeks.
I get so many texts from him the other day, tell me everything,
So they call me again, obviously.
so he just checking.
Because if they can have a dam, we're gonna have problems in this town.
Well, I'm just curious, because in case he gets a flat, or Tahoe breaks down, it's not an art, department.
I'd say he's good. I should do that. Any more questions?
Oh, I make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
And, Mark. In the drug and alcohol world, like council, we call what she's doing, Team Big Apple. I want to be in charge. I want my thumb over. Good evening. How you doing? I'm doing a bad back. I had more. I hear you. It's awful. Yeah, I'm working down sore today. I wonder if it's the weather. Could it be that front come in? Boy, I didn't even get my home. Why didn't you sure? Oh, my back in, I guess. Yes. I got a bar still at church. Right. And I was up there playing, and all of a sudden this lake just went like that. And I just grabbed the bar still. Didn't fall, did it? Almost. That bar still had this big. Yeah, I gotta watch that video. Yeah. Watch it great. I mean, I was gonna go, if that bar still would have been there, I'd been on. He's just trying to be Ricky, what's his name? Guitar player, get down on one knee and kick his leg out. Ricky Chuck Berry. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, mercy.
So our first thing is to get the clinic. Yeah, we spoke outside that one day. Yeah, the first thing. I'm sorry.
Well, it is, but now do a second meeting. Three of them. But the third was only a couple of minutes. This was in the public work.
Let's call it a board of trustee meeting for this PWA authority to order at 8:35. Roll call.
Trustee Mormon?
Yeah.
Trustee Will? Here. Mayor Long?
Here. Consent agenda.
TK, how do you hold them out on your 500?
Oh, that's working just fine.
Okay, you did that?
Pause for a second.
Okay.
Kathy.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There's the agenda. Consideration, discussion, consideration of possible action 13/2026 meeting. Discussion possible action, speaking budget.
At the SFU line.
2026. WRB Queen. What is this?
So this is the, grant that we've applied for the last couple of years. It is in the amount of $392,500 for the planning and design of, sewer system improvements. I got an email asking if we want to stay on the priority list for next year. So just asking if we want to stay on there or not to try to go out for this grant again.
I think we do. I know we,
What information does it involve that they need to be able to apply for? Do you have any idea after last year?
So the last couple of years, there's been a whole group that have worked on applying. So it's not a whole lot of stuff we have to do, it's all on them.
So everything that we've done in the previous year is pretty much all together then?
Yeah, we're gonna have to update, like, contact information, because you're probably not on there.
Right.
Update, operator licensing and stuff like that, but, yeah. Last year when we reapplied, it was very simple, so it did all the work.
And is this like, how much did you say it was for again, 390?
$392,000, and so it's planning, and designing, and just fixing the sewer system.
we are still focusing on sewer.
Yeah, I think that's neat.
I totally agree with you. Yes, I want to stay on the list. We got our first OWRB grant this year. I found out we still didn't get any points for our census status of 85,000 median income. But I still think we need to stay on it.
I think it doesn't hurt to ask.
I found more information. I did send you a copy of that, didn't I, where there's been a U.S. House hearing.
Yep.
That has, I'm working with, and now they have still offered to help with a survey, but we ran into the legislative session, and they do nothing but try to help municipalities through the Oklahoma House and Senate. And when that's we're almost coming to the end, my contacts will come back and we'll talk about if that information I found that was presented at the U.S. House of Representatives on the state of the census will promote some type of legislative corrective action directions to OWRB. So we still have a chance of getting something like this. Until we get that 85,000 median income dealt with, and the 600.
Well, is that something that we can put in that?
I don't think so.
No.
Honestly, I have to look back.
We actually had Molly sign a letter showing what all the errors.
No, I understand that, but I didn't know if there was like a way that you could put in a footnote.
I don't think this one had anything to do with the census,
Yeah.
because we didn't come.
That's actually the first time I recognized, because when Matt was we were sitting discussing this, he flipped over to the census data because he was filling it out, and he goes, whoops, we got a problem. And that was the first time I knew the town of Coyle, why he said, I don't think you're gonna get this. 85,000 median income. We've got 160-some single women living alone with income between 75,000 and 100,000 in this town. Now, the strange thing is, we only have 140, what is it?
Well, I make a motion that we, keep the project SFY 2026 OWRB revolving fund project priority list. I think to keep going and apply new information as needed to see if we can be approved.
And I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 ORWD, yeah, okay.
So we have put out for bid for the project, and bids are due on the 15th. We talked to Matt today, so he's gonna come in, we'll open him, and then we'll get we can either put it on the next meeting, which is in May, or schedule a special meeting. He kind of wanted to wait and see what we got and how much it was before moving on, so.
This is for the water tower, right?
Well, I got, did you get a copy on that email? The bids are coming in on the
15th at 2 o'clock.
here in this office.
Mhm.
So, I'll be able to be here if I get it. What way, but, okay, that's Wednesday, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, so when I talked to him, because I asked, because I didn't know if we needed a meeting or not, he said that he would be here and we could open them, and then we could schedule a meeting with you guys, after that.
Okay, because I have an appointment also at 11.
He said we just put it on the next meeting, but that's a whole month away, so we may just kind of see what
Well,
comes
to
in.
get the
and
results,
see.
is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'd like to do a special meeting.
Do you want me to wait and see what comes in, if we get anything, there may not be, I mean, I don't know, I have no idea. What?
They'll have some bids.
Okay, how about, after that, I'll reach out to everybody and we'll see about scheduling a special meeting. Does that work?
Good. He was excited that we do not have lead paint on the outside of our tower.
I hope not, since you're not.
Well, because it would have, he said, increased the cost of the project $20,000 to continue when they sandblast the coating of the outside.
All I ask is, Lord, not me, That's all I ask, that's all I ask.
Water report,
Not much on water reports, just red meters, nothing for maintaining leaks or nothing like that.
And are they flooded away? No leads flooded away?
Not yet so far.
2 months for plastic.
wastewater report,
The aerators are in the lagoons. We had an issue with one aerator, they came out today, we pulled it twice. And, called Carl to let him know, electrician had to go get a part. The, starter relay on our side, just had a tire surge, it melted it when they pulled it apart.
we need to see if we can get over range.
And, they're going to send us a quote to put some surge protectors. in it.
Yeah, that's kind of, I got on my house.
And so they're set on a timer now, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Yeah, because it says within 124/7, it'll burn so fast.
No idea.
But it's up and going, they're all up and going now, so.
I did.
No, sorry, Lindy.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I did talk to Spencer about those, and we're on a different grid because of a fault that the one we normally run on. That was going to be fixed within the next couple of weeks, but I'll let him know about this too, just so it's on their radar that these surges were, and I told him that it went down after that and we thought it was that, but now with more information, I'll pass that along to him so he knows.
Good, so. I haven't, no, it's not everything. When are we gonna hear about our rib grant?
I thought about that today. I'll reach out to them tomorrow. It was submitted and everything was good. It said if we needed to do anything else, they'd reach out by email and everything. So I will touch base and
That's to get the, underneath this Main Street.
New business,
No, sir.
motion is done.
I make motion to adjourn.
Second.
Aye.
8:47.
say 8:27.
47.
Okay.
The next one, it takes more than a. You do it under 2 minutes.
Well, Education Facility Board, trustee, private order, 848. Roll call.
Trustee Martin?
Here.
Trustee Hale?
Here.
Mayor Moss?
Here. Consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the March meeting minutes, consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
The business agenda. Okay, consider the forward, is there anything?
No, nothing new to report.
New business? Anything done?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
8:48.
Do we do it less than a minute? That was less than a minute. Barely did just- You all know why we do this, does it not? Because this is a bona fide trust. It's sitting there waiting for the school, should they need us, bond issues, they cannot get it. And we don't stay current on our minutes and our meetings.
Where's my cursor?
Okay.